Welcome to the Ancient Civilizations channel. Imagine discovering a civilization that laid the foundations for Rome, one of the most powerful empires in history, but remains one of the greatest enigmas of antiquity. Who were the Etruscans? How did they influence history? Well, the story of the Etruscans begins in the fertile lands of what we now call Tuscany, Umbria, and Lazio regions of central Italy. Their civilization flourished long before the rise of Rome, but their origins remain a topic of intense debate. Some scholars suggest that they descended from the Villanovan culture, indigenous to the Italian peninsula. Others propose that they arrived from the Near East, possibly Anatolia, based on linguistic and genetic evidence. These theories highlight a question that has puzzled scholars for centuries. Were the Etruscans native to Italy, or did they migrate from afar? This enigmatic origin is part of what makes the Etruscans so fascinating. Their language, unlike Latin or Greek, is largely undeciphered, although inscriptions exist. Their complexity has made many of them resistant to interpretation, leaving us with fragments of a lost language. How does a language shape the identity of a people? And what happens when it fades into obscurity? Despite this linguistic mystery, the Etruscans were far from an isolated or primitive society. They were skilled traders, connecting with cultures across the Mediterranean. Archaeological evidence reveals bustling cities, advanced infrastructure, and a vibrant economy centered on agriculture, metalworking, and trade. Their trading networks extended as far as Greece, Egypt, and the Phoenician colonies, exchanging goods, ideas, and religious practices. Imagine walking through an Etruscan market, the aromas of spices, the glitter of finely crafted jewelry, and the echoes of foreign languages filling the air. The Etruscans were also deeply spiritual, with a religion that emphasized divination and the will of the gods. They believed in interpreting divine signs through practices such as haruspice, examining the entrails of animals, and augury, observing the flight of birds. These rituals reflect a worldview steeped in the sacred and supernatural, where every aspect of life was interconnected with the divine. Do you think modern society has lost touch with this sense of sacred interconnection? Their spiritual practices were complemented by elaborate burial customs, displaying a belief in an afterlife. Necropolises, or city-like cemeteries, reveal intricate tombs adorned with paintings depicting feasting, dancing, and journeys to the underworld. These depictions provide a glimpse into their values, emphasizing celebration, community, and continuity after death. The Etruscans were masterful artists and architects. Their craftsmanship in metalwork, pottery, and sculpture reflects a blend of influences, blending Greek elegance with unique Etruscan creativity. Have you seen the famous sarcophagus of the spouses? This terracotta masterpiece depicts a reclining couple in a tender and intimate pose, embodying their focus on family and partnership. These artifacts reveal a culture that celebrated human relationships in art. Their architecture was equally impressive, marked by innovations that influenced Roman engineering. The Etruscans pioneered the use of the arch, a structural marvel that allowed for the construction of durable bridges, aqueducts, and grand temples. Roman architecture owes much to these advances. But how often do we stop to recognize the innovators behind these techniques? In addition to their technical prowess, the Etruscans excelled in urban planning. Cities such as Veii, Tarquinia, and Cerveteri were meticulously organized with roads, drainage systems, and fortified walls. These urban centers were not only functional but also deeply symbolic, reflecting their cosmological beliefs. For example, the layouts of Etruscan cities often mirrored the heavens, aligning streets and temples with celestial bodies. This integration of the sacred and the practical demonstrates a worldview in which spirituality was inseparable from everyday life. Religion remained a cornerstone of their culture, influencing art, architecture, and governance. Temples dedicated to deities such as Tinia, Uni, and Minerva, parallels to Zeus, Hera, and Athena, were centers of worship and community. Their pantheon and mythology were later adapted by the Romans, underscoring the profound impact of Etruscan spirituality on Western traditions. One of their most lasting contributions. Their approach to governance. The Etruscans organized their society into city-states, each ruled by a lucumo or king. These city-states formed a loose confederation, collaborating on religious and political matters while maintaining local autonomy. This model influenced the ancient Roman Republic, which borrowed aspects of Etruscan kingship before transitioning into a republic. The decline of the Etruscans is a story overshadowed by the relentless rise of Rome during the height of their power. The Etruscan city-states were thriving centers of trade, religion, and culture. However, internal divisions and external pressures began to undermine their stability. The loose confederation of city-states, while effective in times of prosperity, lacked the centralized cohesion needed to withstand external threats. Do you think unity is essential for the survival of a civilization? The turning point came during the 5th century BC, when the Etruscans faced increasing competition from the emerging city-state of Rome and pressure from neighboring Greek colonies in southern Italy. Rome, once heavily influenced by Etruscan rulers and culture, began to assert its independence and expand its territory. The legendary Tarquin dynasty, Etruscan kings who ruled ancient Rome, fell from power, signaling a shift in the balance of control. Rome's military ambitions and political strategies further accelerated Etruscan decline. The Roman Republic systematically conquered Etruscan territories, city by city, employing superior organization and a more unified command structure. By the 3rd century BCE, most Etruscan cities had been absorbed into the Roman state, their autonomy stripped away. Despite this political subjugation, Etruscan culture did not disappear. Overnight, their traditions, religious practices, and artistic sensibilities were gradually assimilated into Roman society. The Romans adopted Etruscan customs such as the practice of gladiatorial combat, the use of divination in state affairs, and architectural techniques such as the bow. Can a civilization truly disappear if its legacy lives on in its conquerors? The loss of its language marked a more profound disappearance. As Latin became dominant, the Etruscan language faded from use, relegated to inscriptions and tombs. This linguistic extinction severed a crucial link to their identity, making it even more difficult for future generations to fully understand their worldview. However, their spiritual influence endured. Etruscan religious rituals such as auguries and the interpretation of omens were deeply integrated into the Roman state religion. Even as the Roman Empire rose, its leaders consulted the Etrusca Disciplina, a collection of Etruscan sacred texts, to guide decisions. The rediscovery of the Etruscans began centuries after their decline, driven by curiosity and a desire to understand their way. Contributions to Western civilization. Early archaeologists and historians were drawn to the remains of Etruscan culture, unearthing artifacts, tombs, and ruins that offered glimpses into their world. Each discovery brought us closer to understanding their enigmatic history, but also raised new questions. The necropolises of Cerveteri and Tarquinia, now UNESCO World Heritage sites, are among the most significant archaeological treasures. These ancient cemeteries reveal intricate tombs adorned with frescoes depicting scenes of life, death, and the afterlife. Through these vivid images, we learn about Etruscan beliefs, their love of music and feasting, and their vision of the journey beyond death. How does art preserve the spirit of a people? Modern technology has expanded our understanding of the Etruscans. Advances in DNA analysis have provided insights into their origins, confirming links to indigenous Villanovan culture and possible migration from the Near East. Linguistic studies, while still incomplete, continue to shed light on their language, unlocking pieces of a long-lost puzzle. Yet despite these efforts, the Etruscans remain shrouded in mystery. This enduring enigma captivates not only scholars, but also those seeking to connect with the spiritual and cultural roots of antiquity. Their story reminds us that history is not just about what is known, but also about the questions that remain unanswered. Thank you for watching this video. Subscribe to our channel and like this video. Don't forget to turn on the notification bell to stay updated on our latest posts. See you in the next video.